Greetings from Inverness Youth Hostel. We are about to take off, grab something probably for a little sack lunch. We've had lots of problems with internet connection, haven't been able to upload things. For 2 weeks, my phone couldn't even back up because I didn't have enough bandwidth to back it up. But I got better connection here and got it backed up. So posting daily was a great idea, but not always possible. And my higher end camera equipment requires a lot more juice to upload, and I have wasted hours waiting for things to upload. So live and learn. We are doing Culloden Battlefield and Clava Cairns today. Should be around a 4-hour walk and catching a bus there and back. Don't know that we'll do anything else. Usually after that much walking, I'm pretty spent and we just have a quiet night. Off we go. Couldn't do this without Spirit. Really miss my kids. They're wonderful adults. They're holding down the home. They're taking care of the chickens and the dog, and you know, I really appreciate the heck out of them. Couldn't do this without them. Next year, I'm bringing them. Welcome to Bad Girl Bakery. I just did a quick look for a bakery near me. I am eating my way through Scotland on sausage rolls, beer, and soup. And this had a name that just really appealed to me. I mean, who couldn't? So it was pretty easy choice. I'm going to show you the fabulous things they have. But given that I am eating my way through in sausage rolls, it was a very easy choice. Black pudding and pork sausage roll on its way to me with large milky tea, and then we're off to Culloden Battlefield and a lovely walk in to Clava Cairns. They have some sandwiches here that for takeaway that would be very tempting, but I don't know if I'm going to be hungry after the sausage roll. It's going to hold me probably until 3 o'clock. It won't show him now. There's a boy. There's a boy. This is the food hall, and it is incredibly inclusive. There are inclusive flags hanging everywhere. It's bright and airy. This would be an awesome place on a busy, rainy day. But let me tell you, on a Sunday morning, when the skies are shiny, it is fantastic, and there is some rainbow wonderfulness going on across the way. I don't know what it's going to be, but it says championing Scottish food and drink, and it looks like it's going to be a pop-up shop of some sorts. We'll have to go check it out. So we got on the Stagecoach bus for Culloden Battlefield and had a great driver. He reached up to pet Spirit, we gave him a sticker, and I didn't get a picture. We did the entire tour, and the inside of the building was full of these videos and voices and scripts, but it wasn't until we got outside and we had a real tour guide that it all came together. I highly recommend doing the actual tour. And of course, Spirit was a big hit in the gift shop, as usual, where he gave away more stickers.
At naming their children at this time. So George is the king at the time of the Battle of Culloden, of this uprising, but he's not that important. More important is his own son, his third and favourite son, William Augustus. He is the Duke of Cumberland. He will be here at the Battle of Culloden. He will be leading the government forces, and they're fighting to keep the Hanoverians, so the new German monarchs, on the throne of Britain. So we've got one side of the story, but what's happening on the other side? We've got our Jacobite. James, little baby James, whose only crime has been being baptized, he grows up believing that he should be James the 8th and 3rd, not his sisters and not these German incomers. And so he comes across in 1714 to start an uprising to try and get the throne back for the main Stuart line. And his followers are called the Jacobites. It's a bit of a strange name, Jacobites. It actually derives from the name of James itself. James in Latin is Jacobus, so if you're a follower of Jacobus, you are a Jacobite, or as we say here in Britain, Jacobite. So we have our Jacobites, but the 1714 rebellion completely failed. He goes back across to Europe, never to return. He has his own children, and 30 years later, in 1745, his eldest son, Charles Edward Stuart, comes and starts another uprising. You guys probably are more familiar with his nickname of Bonnie Prince Charlie. And he will be here at the Battle of Culloden, and he'll be leading our Jacobite troops, and they're fighting to put the Stuart line back onto the throne of Britain. So when you break it down into its barest essentials, what it is a massive inheritance and succession war who do you think should be on the throne? Who do you support? Do you want to go back to the Stuarts coming on the throne? Oh, but they're Catholic and we don't vibe with that. Or do you like the new Protestant monarchs? Oh, but they're German and we don't really vibe with that either. And so that's really all it breaks down to. Who do you think should be on the throne? So I'm going to take us now out of the field. We're going to talk about the uprising that leads up to the Battle of Culloden.
Screen's dark, I can't really see, but we're trying to go to the Cairns. It should be a pretty short walk from here. So the Culloden battlefield walk was explained beautifully despite having spent an hour in the museum. I actually think it took an hour in the museum, walking, reading, listening, and another 40 minutes of the walk to consolidate the information. And honestly, it just reminds me a great deal of what's going on in the world right now. So let's focus on gorgeous wildflowers, shall we? And birds. And the very uncharacteristic sunshine. Baby goats. Tea-colored water full of peat. And I don't think it's called a viaduct. There is a viaduct right on the other side of this tree line too. And we're supposed to be coming up on Clava Cairns just up here. We shall see. Clava Cairns are a well-preserved Bronze Age cemetery complex of passage graves, ring cairns, curb cairns, and standing stones. In a kind of remote area, not a lot of explanation. Would have been great to have a guide. It's a prehistoric burial cairn of Vulnaran and Clava. It's a group of 3 Bronze Age cairns. It's significant and really well preserved. It's about 4,000 years old. It was used for 2 different distinct times. One 2000 BC. 3 of them are still standing, and then a few thousand years later, a cemetery was reused and new burials were put in. They call them curb cairns, but I don't really know a lot about it. I didn't feel comfortable doing a lot of exploring, but it is there, and I think it's one of those things that if you're into burial sites and you know the information, it would be a lot better for you to go to than listening to me blather. But I went because my dear friend Bonnie is very fond, and I promised her videos. So here it is, Bonnie. This is for you. On it. So that's the Clava Cairns. Piles of rocks with stories. Weathered, aged, chipped. Onward. We got the same bus driver on our way back, and then we went to the Tesco Super, and we were looking for a needle to repair my sweater. We'd gotten some yarn from an independent weaver, grabbed some discount food, and so when we got back to the hostel, the weather was glorious. We sat out. I had my snack and a beer, and we called it a night. Until next time, we'll catch you later.